have to remember the rules for expanding a logarithm. You're going to be changing multiplies to adds because that's what you do with the exponents. And an answer to a logarithmic question is an exponent. So we have to take this apart piece by piece. Oops, I better get my sticky note out here. Okay, the pickle is, though, I can't just pull out each one of these factors because these two factors are under the same square root. So I have to see this square root set as having exponents of 1/2 first. So we're going to go it's c times a to the 1/2 times b to the 1/2. So that's the secret sauce of, because these are both under the radical, they each have a power of 1/2. That's the secret sauce to unlock this expansion of the logarithm. So this really means log base 7 of c plus, multiply turns into add, log base 7 of a to the 1/2 plus log base 7 of b to the 1/2. So far, that's a multiply means add. That's what we learned in our notes from 16.1. So, yeah. So when we had multiply, it was added. That's what we just did. But there's none of the answers have this. You have to remember the power property. When you have a power, it turns into a multiplier. So this is log base 7 of c plus the 1/2 becomes multiplied out to the side, which is really log base 7 of a over 2. If I multiplied log base 7 of a times 1/2, I get this result. That too shiny. Plus, and the 1/2 comes out front here, so it's log base 7 of b over 2. Because when I multiply 1/2 times something, it's numerator 1 times log base 7 of b over denominator 2. So that is choice C. Now you know what you're in for. Change your radicals to fractional exponents and then use the rules. So you see how the 6 is not in the little v part, so that 6 belongs to the z. So it's log base 5 of z to the 6th times x to the 1/2. And then I just write, this means add. So I'm writing out the next step, even though you might want to, you could skip it if you want. You could go ahead and write that 6 log base 5 of z out. You know, if you already know that's where that 6 will end up. You could skip this writing out, but I'm going to go ahead just so I could show you the nitty gritty. One law at a time. So that is when I take log base 5 of x times 1/2, log base 5 of x becomes the numerator, over 2 is the denominator, and that is letter A. Everything matches. So this is why it's a good final, because you got to know everything about everything. Okay? Everything about everything. Crazy, huh? That's math. But it builds on you. You know, you practice, practice, practice. Practice makes better. Okay, to this one. It's got a division story in it. So we looked that up in our notes. There is no radical, so I don't have to do that extra step when I'm dividing. Remember, it's the log of the numerator minus the log of the denominator. So having this handy will help jog your memory. So I have to take log base 6 of the numerator minus log base 6 of the denominator. Then the powers become the multipliers. And as you look through the choices, that doesn't hurt anything, but it's kind of nice to do it without choices. So they don't, you know, like they won't trick you, like put doubt in your mind. And that's great. It's definitely a language, symbolism, purpose, meaning, power. Yes, literally. Okay. Last one for the expansion. I don't have a preference. I can expand or condense, you know, and you might have a preference at the beginning, but pretty soon, hopefully, you'll be proficient in all of it. Now, let's use what we have. Number 4 looks just like number 1 with a different log. So you can crank it all out by hand, or just notice log base 5 of C. You see how the notice letter C just looks just like. Only thing that's missing is a different log. So yeah, you can use your prior knowledge. I'm going to go ahead and do that. You see where the radical becomes halvesies. Okay, that's expanding. Now we're going to go back. They'll give you this question and this will be your answer. So we'll do it with number 5. Okay, this goes back to x squared. This goes back to y to the 6th. Then this goes back to divide.
Attention students and staff, the building is now in a hold pattern. Clear the hallway to remain in your rooms until the auto clear is announced. Business as usual in the classroom. Thank you.
So this means divide. And remember, the first term goes in the numerator. And we couldn't do this if the logs weren't alike. So it's letter B. Oops, I better shut my door. Okay, you see where you're going? Okay, this is x to the 3rd over y to the 18th. And you can obviously tell from your choices that means subtract. So if you know the rules, you can play this game, right? life will get you. That lets us create beautiful things. And the deeper you get, the more, you know, you get into the symbolism of stuff. Alrighty. 2 more under that direction. Condense each expression to a single logarithm. Whoops, I'm all doubled up here. Sorry. Okay, so I'm looking for a division. So that's not division, that's not division. I've got a to the 6th in the numerator, b to the 36th in the denominator. So hopefully you're getting the code. There was a close one here, so pay attention. Differentiation. Okay, x to the 6th in the numerator over y squared in the denominator. Ooh, that was close right here. X to the 6th. Yeah, that was a little fudgy there. So that one I might want to have written it out before I started looking at my choices. They go pretty quick. Hopefully. You're feeling it? Now you saw it. What it should, the process, hopefully. Okay, remember these were 2 exponents. The answers were, and then this one turned into just 1 exponent answer. So depending on your needs, why you're doing what you're doing. So now we're going to apply the laws of logarithms to solve these equations. If you have a calculator that has different log bases, then you're in like Flynn on these last 8. But the rest of us have to use a law of logs. You make sure the power is alone, and then you rewrite it as taking the log of both sides. Oh, pickles. Both sides. Easy mistake to make. Drop that down. And even if you don't notice, that's the number 1. You could still just do this in your calculator. And x equals that expression. So I could put that in my calculator. So I put a log of 61 over log of 10. And that log of 10 is just 1. But if you didn't remember that, you're okay. Look for our choices. Looks like A, 1.7853. Looks like they rounded it to 4 decimal places. And you can always check. If I put 10 to the 1.7853, not going to come out perfect, but it's going to be close to 61. Remember doing that for the homework? Remember checking your answers? Engage in that for your assessment as well. Once you know the right answer, you can check it. Please. Looking for A pluses here. That's my expectation. You can do it. Okay, this is a different base, so we won't have the same answer. So remember, with the E as the base, natural logarithm is the smarter move. But if you didn't remember that, you could still use log. No harm, no foul. M becomes the multiplier. You read my my alphabet there. And then if you didn't remember that is 1, you could still divide both sides by the natural log of e. And put that in your calculator. So it's just the natural log of 61. 9. Is that a choice? I have mine covered up. Yep, it is. Letter C. And you can check it really quick by doing, oh, E, sorry. E, where's my E? There's my E, clear. Okay, second E, and then I put in my answer, and bam, comes out 61. Little trick, calculator trick. But that second function down here will take your answer and put it where you want it to be. So that's a nice little thing to have as you're working through these. Okay, so you see, you notice what the answer is. So I take the exponent is equal to the log of the other side over the log of the original base. So yeah, it doesn't hurt to do the exponent's what's missing. So this guy looks like he's got space. I can write that out. My B is the log of 61 over the log of 7. So you can use your little fraction button. Put in log 61 over log 7. End up with letter B. 2,112,5,7. And I can always take 7 to the answer. And I'm back to 61 again. Oh man, that's dark. Oh man, here we go. There's my check. No, I entered the right information. So these first 4 are just a log of the result over the log of the original base. So those will go quickly. M is the log of 92 over the log of 10. And remember, that's just 1. I'm going to write that, so if you do want to skip that step, you can just put in the log of 92. End up with 1.9638. Go math. And check your work if you want to. Any comments about that shortcut? You like it? Is it okay? Is it too much? You're skipping too many steps, Fisher? Hopefully you're feeling confident about logs. Give your brain cells some space with logs and you'll be fine. Okay, and start at the beginning if you have to. Okay, 13, 14, 15, 16 are a little bit more tangled up, so. Oh yeah, look at all that. Love it. All right, love the algebra. Again, this is a great semester final because you have to know how to do algebra to isolate the power. It's your first step. So I have 11 to the v minus 9. I'm going to go ahead and put a decimal down. So it's 0.75. Okay, just to make my calculator life simpler. Okay. And you know by now, you know yourself by now how you like it. Take logs of both sides. So it's v minus 9 log 11 equals log of 0.75. 3/4, right? So I got to move this log. almost done. V minus 9 is the 2 logs. So I'm looking, I'm looking for V. So I get to add 9. So you just showed me you could do algebra. So my V is this. All this in my calculator. Okay. Put my fraction, log of 0.75 on top, log of 11 on the bottom, out, and then I'm going to add 9 to it. Who knows? Who knows what it's going to shake out to be? I got 8.8800, so that is, this is about, so that's C. C for number 13. Yep, okay. So isolate the power by dividing by 6. This isn't going to be pretty. I can't make this guy a decimal. Okay, 10 to the 3n equals 49/6. So now I log both sides. Log, lazy Fisher, 3n. Remember, log 10 is 1. So that'll make my life easier. So I just have to put in my calculator. And remember on the homework, you had to put this part in and the approximate result. And this one, you're just writing the approximate result. So that's kind of nice. Save ourselves a little time. That's what life is made of. And don't forget, when you enter that in your calculator, you want to put a parenthesis before you put the divided by 3. Because otherwise, it's going to let you down. So I see letter D. It's about 0.3040. So letter D. So I helped myself, by changing that to 1, and it just became, the 3n became the multiplier. So again, know your rules. You can play the game. Play the game well. Okay, 15 was like in your homework. There was a base E. You want to use a natural log for your story, but not until you isolate the power. So my e to the 7v that's 0.8. I'm going to be, help myself. I'm going to make a decimal. And I'm going to take natural log of both sides. So natural log of e, natural log of 0.8. Then this is 1, so I have 7v is natural log of 8. Divide by 7, and then round. Remember, the natural log of e is 1. Remember, what power of e gives me e back? 1. Answer to a natural log is always a power, always an exponent. Helping you remember fraction. I chose natural log, so I've got to stick with natural log. Don't forget to use the right log, to help yourself. You could have used log, but you wouldn't have been able to cancel that. Just saying, you wouldn't have been able to cancel that. So 0.2971. That's what V equals. Aye, what happened? What did I do wrong? Did I? Oh, you're the best. Thank you for correcting my error. I appreciate that. Thank you. That's what I get for not putting a 0 in front, isn't it? That's my bad math writing. I should have put a 0 in front. Thank you. Did you guys come out? 0.8. Okay, gotta mend my ways. And then I just grab my thing and go back up and put in a point. There we go. There's a nicer story. See? Yep. Nope. What did I do wrong now? D. Oh man, that's tricky. That is tricky. It's a negative. They switched these numbers around. 319. Okay, I didn't write it down. I was just looking at the choices, and you see how they had 138 instead of 318. Tricky. Ooh, the person who wrote these test questions get a gold star for fooling. All right. Okay, last one. We'll call it a test. Should be able to get it done in a day easily. Okay, careful, Fisher, careful. Divide by negative 8. Divide by negative 8. 3 to the 2x. There's no shortcuts here. I don't know if that is a nice decimal or not. Oh, it's not too bad. 45 divided by 8. There are two negatives make a positive. So I'm going to just use log. No shortcuts. I can divide by 2 log 3, whatever I want to do. I'll just do one step at a time. Whatever you're happy is. You wouldn't have been wrong, you know. But I just got rid of the log first. And then I would take an extra step to divide by 2. So that's divide by 2, divide by 2. So I could have put it there, or I could have written it there. Either way. And it might just me. I find it easier to type in decimals into the calculator than fractions. Not a calculator. Oh, divided by 2. There we go. Eight, 6. Am I still on the screen? Just barely. I have 09, so it would round to a 1. 0.7861, letter D. There we go. And thank you very much. Glad to make mistakes with you.